Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good so far, depending on your questions.
Have you been in Finland before?
First time today, and looking forward to seeing a little bit later tonight of the city here.
What do you think about Finland if you have seen anything?
Um, Talk to me tomorrow, and I'll give you a better answer because so far, literally, we just got off the airport over to the hotel, and so the impressions are very limited. But it looks very nice. Lots of boats, a lot of ice and snow. So, guess it looks nice.
Yes, you're not very known in Finland yet, so could you tell me some main points of yourself and your music?
Well, apparently it's the first record which came out, I guess, this week or last week. And I've done work before. It's not my first record, but first time here doing promotion also for this record in Finland. What do I do? I mean, I'm a classical musician. I play the violin since many, many years. I started, of course, as a classical violinist, and which I still do a lot. But I consider the, crossover to be more of a side project in order to get, a little bit of younger audiences into also the classical music world. So that's basically the intent, to kind of build a bridge to also reach out with classical music to a lot of people.
So you have played violin almost all your life.
Yeah.
Did you decide by yourself that you want to play violin?
It was a decision I made by myself. I guess the circumstances were just a little bit of destiny. My brother, who is 2 years older, he started first. And I just happened to be the younger brother wanting to have everything he had. So that included the violin. And I really liked playing from the beginning. It was something which I felt came naturally. So just continued.
Have you played any other instruments?
Yes, I did my few years of piano and guitar, but it never really felt the same.
I have to say that first time when I went to your homepage in internet and I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirits", I was like, whoa, that's very cool. How did you came up with that idea?
Well, obviously, you do a lot of demos, and since this album is more programmatic than the ones I did before, which I know didn't came out here in Finland. I just looked for pieces which, somehow were iconic, something which I like to listen to, and which also could work for the instrument. So those were the main categories I was looking for when I worked on the album.
Are you ever scared what people will think about your versions?
No, because in the end, every piece you do an arrangement of, you normally have to run through the composer, to the singer, or, in this case, Courtney Love, who's in charge of the publishing. She approved it, so I guess that is a way of saying it's pretty good. So I'm very happy she did.
Yes, could you tell me something more about this album which is released here? The name is Rock Symphonies.
Well, it's a little bit of, obviously, when you do such an album, you try to kind of think in your world, in your, what you like to listen to. It's a very personal record because I got to play all the pieces I usually also have on my iPod. I like to listen privately to, but it's very much based on either rock tunes, which I rearrange a little bit more in a more classical way, but also the other way around. There are also a lot of classical tunes from Beethoven and Bach and Vivaldi, which I did in a more modern rock version. So kind of interesting. And I also write my own stuff, so there are 3 pieces by myself.
What are your plans for this year?
There is a lot of plans, and I usually just think about today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we go to London, and there's a couple of days of promo over there in the UK.
So no new albums or...
Oh yes, sure. I'm sorry. There is so much things happening. Yes, we're recording something new in July, and preparing for that right now, sort of in between promo.
Is that also rock with classical?
No, this one is going to be a core classical record. We're going to record at Abbey Road Studios in London with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I got to arrange a couple of the pieces, and we're going to do basically the Beethoven Concerto in its original version, plus a few pieces by Fritz Kreisler. And I got a little bit of the possibility to put my own spin on them.
Do you have some country or place where you definitely want to have a concert?
I pretty much played all over the world so far, besides Finland. So, looking forward to playing here.
When are we going to hear you here?
Well, there's not really like a fixed date yet, although we kind of set aside November for a European tour. So probably will be November.